copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Calling all cars, attention all Los Angeles County Sheriff's cars, broadcast 170. Investigate a bank robbery and shooting at the Southern Counties Bank. 237 West Main Street, El Monte. That's all. Rosenquist.
If you enjoy calling all cars, that is proof positive that you will appreciate the flashing police car performance of Rio Grande cracked gasoline. Many people are satisfied to go through life practically without drama or excitement. But the fact that you are tuned in here to enjoy the thrilling exploits of hard-hitting police officers shows that you want action. Thousands of motorists agree that Rio Grande cracked gasoline gives the liveliest performance they have ever experienced. It should. It is the only gasoline you can buy that is refined by the patented Sinclair cracking process. This breaks up gasoline into finer atoms that burn more completely and give greater power. This is why Rio Grande cracked gasoline with tetraethyl gives police car performance. This is why more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment use Rio Grande cracked gasoline wherever it is sold than any other brand. So, if you like your automobile driving as you like your radio entertainment, with plenty of vigorous action, take advantage of all that the Rio Grande Oil Company offers. Tune in every week to these thrilling broadcasts and go into an independent Rio Grande service station every time you need gasoline. If you enjoy the one, you will appreciate the other. Tonight, it is our pleasure to present once again Sheriff Eugene Biscaloos, head of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Biscaloos.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight, Calling All Cars brings you a story of a deception so incredible that it is hard to believe. It is a case that started out with a bang, then settled down to becoming one of the most involved we have ever experienced. It took many long months of patient investigation on the part of our office, as well as the local El Monte and Pasadena officials, to clear the many contradictory phases that insisted on cropping up. From the very beginning, we had a feeling that our man was lying, but due to the amazingly clever deception he had been carrying on, proving it turned out to be a really tough job. How it was done will be told on tonight's story of the Banker Bandit.
Our story tonight opens in El Monte, California, on the last day of January 1936. It is just past closing, and inside the Southern Counties Bank at 237 West Main Street, the manager is straightening his desk preparatory to leaving. A few feet away at another desk, his secretary, Alice Williams, is deep in phone conversation with Tilly Irvine of the El Monte Herald. Through the glass partition separating his office from the teller's cages, Manager Mountain notices two men apparently making out deposit slips.
That's what I thought.
Thinking they are no more than late depositors, he turns back to his desk, listens idly to his secretary's conversation.
Why, certainly. I'd be glad to do anything I could to help. I know it. That's why I feel the way I do about it.
Hang up that phone, lady.
I'm sorry, Tilly. Say that again, will you? Someone was talking in here, and I couldn't understand it. Oh!
Stay where you are, mister.
What?
Lady, hang up that phone.
Oh, why, yes, sir.
Now, that's better. Now, both of you, walk around to the vault. If you don't start anything, you won't get hurt.
But look here, man.
I would advise your doing as I say. I'm in a hurry. My friend out there in the lobby is also a little nervous. His finger might accidentally squeeze the trigger on his gun. You know what that'd mean?
Yes, of course. We'll go to the vault.
Splendid. You leading, I'll follow.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't try stepping on any alarm bells either. It mightn't be healthy.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
Good. Move on, then. You too, lady.
Yes, sir.
Now you open this vault for me.
Yes, sir.
Come on, mister. Get that thing open. I'm in a hurry.
I'm trying as fast as I can. You see, the man who usually does this, he's sick today. It's all a bit new to me.
I know all about that, but you can open it all right. And I'd advise you to do it quickly. Very quickly. And in the offices of the El Monte Herald, an excited young reporter, phone in hand, reacts to the sudden noise she has heard. Goes into action.
Hello? Operator, listen, get me to the police station and then keep this line open. Please, this is an emergency, operator.
El Monte Police, Frisch speaking.
Hello? This is Tilly Irvine at the Herald. I think there's a holdup at the Southern County Bank.
What?
Yes, it's going on right now. I'm almost sure.
Okay, Miss Irvine, I'll get out there right away, and thanks for the tip.
Oh, that's all right. Only you better hurry. I'm going to call the constable's office.
Constable's office. Full speaking.
This is Tilly Irvine at the Herald, Constable. There's a robbery going on over at the Southern County Bank. I just talked to the police department. I thought I'd better call you.
No, hello. Wait a minute. There's so much noise here I couldn't get that. Will you...
There's a bank robbery at the Southern County Bank. It's going on now.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, I'm almost positive. I called the police already.
All right, Tilly. I'll get the rest later. Thanks. Wiggins? Yeah? Come on. I just got a report of a bank robbery at the Southern County's Bank over on Main Street. We're going out on it. And with the El Monte police on the way, the constable's office notified, the quick-witted reporter continues to call. The Alhambra police, Ontario, Temple, and San Dimas officials are notified in rapid succession. And as a result, within 5 minutes of the interrupted phone call, various peace officers converge from all directions on the little bank at 237 Main Street. Arriving there first, Officer Frisch is soon joined by Wiggins, Thompson and Pohl of El Monte, Officer Cox of Alhambra, and Officer Stone of Ontario. Together, the men approach the bank.
Now, keep your guns handy. I'm going to try the door.
Right.
It's locked from the inside. I can't see anything on account of these blinds.
Well, they must still be in there, then.
I'm going to shake the doors. I'll get set for trouble.
Line your guns on the door. They try rushing us, we'll blast them.
Ready?
Ready. All right, boys. You've got us. Don't shoot.
Put your hands up back into the bank. Keep your guns on those men, boys. Let them have it if they start anything.
Don't worry, we're trying any funny business. We know when we're licked. Come on, get
All right, then keep your hands high over your head. Give me your hand, Constable. I'll tie this heavy boy up so he can't start anything, even if he wants to.
Okay, here they are.
Now, frisk the other fellow, someone. Hurry up. See what he has on him.
I'll shake him down. Come on, keep your hands up and don't make any fast moves. Come on up there.
Get your hands up or I'll shoot.
Don't try it, Bud. Don't. Let him have it, boys. Let him have it. You get him there? All right. Hey, is anybody hurt?
That guy who came in is more than hurt. He's dead.
I think I'm hitting the hand.
Here, somebody get Frisch over to the receiving hospital and get that hand dressed.
That's all right. Hey, where's that fella I was frisking?
Huh? Hey, he's got a gun.
Where?
Over in the corner there.
Wait a minute, Paul. Save it. He's going down.
I thought he got hit.
Shot by one of his own men.
You go on to the hospital, Frisch, and send an ambulance back for this fellow.
All right.
He's hurt plenty. That shotgun got him square.
Well, I tried to tell Bud not to shoot.
Hey, who is he? One of your pals?
He was my brother.
The one that came in, your brother, huh?
Yes.
Well, how about this other fellow over here? The one your brother shot. Who's he?
Clarence. Clarence Yates. Is he dead, too?
No, not yet.
But he will be soon. Is that it?
That would be my guess, yes.
Well, I guess that's that. Guess things are sort of at an end. Not exactly what you'd call a very nice end, either.
Removed to the El Monte Hospital, the wounded bandit dies shortly after arriving there. Frisch, the wounded officer, is found to be badly hurt in the hand, and it becomes necessary to amputate one finger. And as a result of the shooting, the one surviving member of the bandit trio, Frank Smith, is turned over to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Office for questioning. He is placed in jail and held incommunicado while Deputies Cuno and Guasti of the Bureau of Investigation make a search of the three bandits' homes. And this completed, Captain Bright, head of the homicide squad, finds himself in possession of a complete arsenal taken from the Smith brothers' homes: guns, ammunition, a gas pencil, and several articles of jewelry. With this evidence in hand, he turns the case over to Inspector Stensland, who in turn questions Frank Smith. Present at the questioning are Captain Bright, Department of Justice official E.K. Merritt, Deputies Cuno and Guasti, and M.C. Hardage, Deputy Reporter.
All right, now what's your name?
Frank Forrest Smith.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
Ever been arrested before, and if so, for what?
Well, I was arrested once in Glendale on a minor charge.
Ever been arrested on a felony?
No.
Where have you worked?
Well, I was connected with the Hellman Bank.
What was your position?
Well, first as assistant cashier and then as manager at Randsburg. That's up in the desert.
How long have you known E.C. Yates?
Oh, about 10 years, I guess.
You have a brother, Clarence Smith?
Yes, sir.
You know they're both dead now.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and tell us just what happened today.
Well, we went out there to rob this bank, and it was agreed that there'd be no shooting or bloodshed. Well, after we got in the bank, we both sensed that we were trapped, and I told Yates I was going to the door and for him not to shoot. Then I opened the door and told the officers to come in.
Well, how did the shooting occur?
We were standing in the lobby being searched, and all of a sudden my brother came in the door and yelled something, and then he started shooting. He only shot once, though. The officers shot him down.
Your brother had been outside in the car?
Yes, sir.
Now, when did you first plan this holdup?
Oh, let's see, about 2 or 3 months ago.
Who was present?
Yates and I.
Where was your brother?
Well, he wasn't in on it at first. We brought him in about a month ago.
When did you last look the bank over?
This morning.
How much does your wife know about all this?
Not a thing.
What does Yates' wife know about it?
Well, I'm positive she doesn't know anything about it either. Well, it's going to be pretty bad for both women. They're not the type to be associated with a bank robber.
Ever pull any other jobs in this county, Frank?
No, sir.
You sure about that?
Positive.
How about a bank in Santa Monica?
Well, I know about it. Yeah, I read about it, but I wasn't in on that holdup.
How about a holdup on Washington Boulevard the other day?
No, sir.
Say, who was on the job in Santa Monica? Your brother?
I don't know, sir.
You understand that we have to bring your wife and Yates's in to clear up this situation?
Yes, sir.
Well, that is, of course, unless you want to clear up the situation yourself about other jobs.
Yes, sir. I understand it.
Where were you born, Smith?
In Idaho.
Did you go to school there?
Yes.
How far'd you go in school?
Well, it was 1 year of finishing school and then to a business college at Spokane.
How many brothers have you?
Just one.
How old is he?
Oh, about 42, I guess.
What business was he in?
Well, in a hotel. It was a bellhop.
What had you been?
Well, my previous business has been banking. 13 years of it in Idaho.
Whereabouts in Idaho?
Up in Wallace.
What's the idea of all the guns found at your house?
Well, I had them when I was working at the bank.
Why?
Well, I just had them, that's all.
And you never pulled any other jobs here?
No, sir.
To get back to when you left school, what did you do then?
Well, I left school, and then I went into a bank at Spokane. Washington. I worked there for a while as assistant cashier. Then finally the bank changed hands, and I was relieved. Then I went to Rosario.
And seated there in Stensland's office, Captain Bright leads Frank Smith through a long and detailed resume of his life for the last 20 years. Listens while Smith tells of his banking experience. Listens and makes deep mental notes on little discrepancies that appear in the story. It is an amazing tale the bandit unfolds, a tale filled with changes of locale, of one job at a bank after another. And through it all runs one dominant strain. Smith's constant denials that his wife knows anything about his bank robbing proclivities. His equally constant denial that he has pulled other jobs in Los Angeles County. His occasional slips about having spent money quickly covered by his statements to the effect that it is money he has accumulated. But when asked how, he has no answer. Hour after hour, Stensland, then Bright, Merritt, then Cuno question Smith. Repeatedly, they ask the same questions over and over again. Quietly, almost monotonously. And after several hours of this, Stensland brings the interview to an abrupt close. Motions the prisoner be taken back to jail. And when he has left the room, the officers compare notes, exchange theories.
That fellow's lying in his teeth. At least he is when he says he hasn't pulled any other jobs. Why, he's an old-timer in this racket, you can tell.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Captain. But he's a tough one to crack. He knows that both his partners are dead and they can't testify against him. And as for his story about his wife not knowing, frankly, I can't believe it.
You better have a talk with her. Maybe she'll have a different set of answers.
What do you think, Merritt? How does Smith's story stack up with you?
Until he explains where he got the money we know he had, I'm convinced he's lying. And I agree with you that he's a tough one to crack. Smooth as they make him.
Well, I'm going to check with Guasti and have him and Cuno talk to Mrs. Smith, and we'll see how the answers checked with Franks.
And a short time later, in Captain Bright's office, Deputies Guasti, Cuno, Bowers, and Lieutenant Penpraise question Frank Smith's wife. Check what Smith has told against her story.
What is your name?
Mary. Mary Smith.
And what is your husband's name?
Frank F. Smith.
We're going to ask you some questions about your husband's past. Also, probably some about your past. Are you willing to answer them?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
About 4 years.
What was your husband's business when you married him?
Well, I don't know.
You mean to say that you didn't know his business when you married him?
No.
You didn't know how he made his living? Did you question him at any time?
Yes, sir. He said that he made investments. And that's how he made his money.
Where were his offices, his place of business?
But I don't know.
Well, doesn't it seem strange that you didn't know his business address or occupation?
Well, it does seem strange, but well, Mr. Smith never said.
Yeah. Does your husband own a car?
Yes, sir.
A Studebaker sedan?
Yes, sir. I think it's a 1933 model.
Has it been painted lately?
No, sir.
You're sure of that?
Well, I'm pretty sure.
It hasn't been painted in the last few months?
No, I'm sure it hasn't.
Now, how were your allowances given you for running your home?
He gave me $100 the first of each month.
He's continued to do that right along?
Yes.
Did you ever suspect that your husband was a bank robber, Mrs. Smith?
Oh, no.
Would you tell us if you knew?
Yes.
Are you positive of that?
Yes.
You know now that he is a bank robber.
Well, they just told me. And I can't believe it. I can't.
His brother's dead, and so is Yates. They were both shot down.
But he didn't kill his brother and Yates.
No, he didn't. But the officer did at the bank holdup.
Oh, I don't know what to say or do.
Now, Mrs. Smith, do you expect a group of officers to believe your story?
But it's the truth.
Your husband gave you $100 every month. You didn't know where it came from. No. You didn't know what his business was or where it was.
He said he made investments.
Are you trying to get yourself implicated in these robberies?
Oh, no.
You want to clear yourself?
Yes.
Well, then why don't you start telling us the truth?
But I am telling the truth. I swear it.
Mrs. Smith, have you ever seen your husband with large amounts of money around the house?
No, sir.
Have you ever seen any guns around the house?
Yes, sir.
How many?
Well, there was a revolver on the bedstand, and he had a skeet gun. Well, there were others.
Quite a few others. Is that right, Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Well, didn't that arouse your suspicions at all? All those guns lying around?
Well, I asked him about them, but he said that one was for ducks and another for quail. Well, that's all.
You marry a man who has no job, who has a house full of guns, and all these years you never knew where his money was coming from. You expect us to believe that?
But it's the truth. That's all I can say.
Did you ever hear your husband speak of any business deals with Yates?
Yes. He said that sometimes Yates would borrow money and that he didn't like it. But he said he had it fixed so that he could get it back.
How much at a time would he loan Yates?
Oh, sometimes $100, sometimes $50.
Mm-hmm. What was Mr. Yates' business?
Well, when I first met him, he was in the used car business.
And how long did he stay in it after he met your husband?
Not very long.
And after that, what did he live on?
Nothing but what my husband loaned him.
He had no other means of support than that?
None that I knew of.
Did your husband and Yates spend a good deal of time together?
Yes, sir.
And you knew what they were doing, didn't you? You knew they were robbing banks.
Oh, no. No, sir, I didn't.
Did you know that Yates was robbing banks?
No, sir.
How about your husband's brother? Did you know he was robbing banks?
No, sir, I didn't know anything about it. Oh, I can't tell you any more than I have. I don't know. I didn't know.
And subsequent questioning of both Yates' wife and the widow of Clarence Smith meet with the same denials. But Stensland is far from satisfied that his prisoner is an amateur. He feels sure that he has pulled a long string of unsolved bank jobs on the list of cases marked unclosed. One job in particular is a bank in Santa Monica where two officers claim to have seen the bandit escaping. Accordingly, a phone call to Santa Monica brings them up. And after a careful study of Smith, they both identify him as the bandit. Faced with this, Smith is still unwilling to talk.
Now, look, Frank. You've been identified by these two officers on that Santa Monica bank job. What have you got to say about that?
Well, now, gentlemen, I realize all that, and I still say I've been telling the truth. Now, if I have to talk, there are a lot of things I could probably clear up. But I don't want to without a word with some attorney first.
What are your intentions on the El Monte case? You going to plead guilty to that?
Yes, sir.
And Santa Monica, how about that?
No.
Frank, I'm going to tell you something. As far as state law is concerned, the government is going it one up when it comes to your wife. They can prosecute her to the limit.
In what respect, Captain?
She's accepted money from you. Stolen money.
Well, yes, I suppose so.
As it is now, I'll have to lock up all the women till this gets cleared up. Because there's still some money out at other banks that we've got to locate, and I'm asking you to help us.
Well, I want to help you, Captain.
I'm making no promises, only that we will file all the charges at once if you tell us of the rest of the jobs you pulled.
Well, now listen. You gentlemen have me. Now, you know I'm not going to get away. I'll be here tomorrow morning. Now, I can promise that if I have any information to divulge, you'll all be present to hear it.
What's your proposition?
Well, I'm not propositioning you, Captain. Only I have a friend who happens to be a judge in Long Beach, and I'd kind of like to talk to him.
Smith, I'm leaving in a few minutes. When I leave, the boys will have orders to lock everybody up, and that includes your wife. And no one can change that order while I'm away, and I'll be back on the job early in the morning. And I can't see where you have anything to lose by talking now.
Well, that's what I wanted to know, Captain. Why I wanted to talk to my friend down in Long Beach.
Well, show me where you have anything to lose.
Well, I have two branches of the government and all you gentlemen on me. But this situation is so complicated and all that there may be things that you don't think of, and, well, I do.
I believe the captain would be perfectly willing if you wanted to ask us some particular questions in regard to the federal end.
Well, I would. Oh, well, I don't want to give the impression that these gentlemen are not fair and square, but I do want to talk about the federal government.
All right, go ahead, Frank. Ask them anything you want.
Well, yeah, well, all right. Now, if you federal men will walk over to the other side of the room for a minute with me. All right, Captain Stensland. Now, in regards to my wife, I'm going to come clean. And I'm going to ask a request in return.
Yes?
My wife knows absolutely nothing about my activities. And that's the truth. Now, I've got a lot of information that you want. Is it possible for you to let my wife go?
Lay it on the line, Frank. Clear up these jobs, and I'll turn her loose.
Well, all right, then. You can put us down for the Santa Monica job.
You and your brother and Yates?
Yes, sir.
All right, go on.
And the Citizens National on Wilshire.
Yes?
Well, only I wasn't in on that one. It was Yates and my brother.
And how many were you in on, Frank?
Well, it was only two. The Santa Monica job and that one today.
All right. Give me a list of the ones your brother and Yates pulled, and don't forget any.
No, sir. Well, there's, the Bank of America in Sawtell, the Citizens National Bank in
For several hours, Smith is questioned about various banks. As he admits his brother and Yates' participation, a check is made. And a little while later, he is asked to name them again. Slowly, little by little, his tired brain begins to get fuddled. His alertness slips. And at last, faced with the prospects of spending the rest of the night answering questions that become harder and harder to answer, Frank Smith admits to 23 bank robberies, confesses that he has pulled 5 of these alone, the rest in company with his brother and Yates. And as the hand of the clock reaches 3 a.m.,
December 1st, 1923.
Yes?
You alone?
No. All three of you.
Bank of America, 54th and Mesa Drive, April 3rd, 1930.
Yes? Yates and I.
Bank of America, Van Nuys, May 31st, 1928.
Yes, alone.
Bank of America, Van Nuys, February 15th, 1933.
Yeah, all three of it.
First National Bank, Alhambra, December 5th, 1928.
Yes, alone.
Well, that makes it, Captain. 23 of them.
Well, Frank, for an amateur, you did pretty well.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to tell us before you go back to your cell?
Yes, sir. My wife and the other women, they didn't know. Well, that was the hardest part of my job, keeping it from them. But believe me, Captain, I'm giving it to you straight. They didn't know. They didn't even have an idea.
All right, Frank, I believe you. They'll be turned loose immediately. But I'll say this to you. I don't know how you did it because it's just about the slickest bit of deception I've ever heard, bar none.
Frank Smith was tried on several counts of robbery and found guilty to all the charges. On top of this, he was found guilty of 1 count of murder in the first degree and 3 counts of attempted murder. This came as a result of his brother's shotgun sally intended for the officers, which killed Yates. Both Yates and Smith's brother, being killed, left the guilt directly on Smith's shoulders, an ironic twist which caused him to receive a life sentence in San Quentin Penitentiary. As warmer weather approaches, you will be taking longer trips than you have been taking the last few months. This is the time to insist on Rio Grande cracked gasoline. Nearly 300 police cars of Los Angeles drive more than 200 miles a day, and they've been using Rio Grande cracked gasoline for more than 3 years exclusively. The patented Sinclair cracking process breaks up gasoline into finer atoms so that you get more power and greater mileage. Rio Grande cracked gasoline is the only gasoline you can buy that gives police car performance. It has been specified month after month for the emergency equipment of Oakland, Berkeley, Marysville, Fresno, Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, Pasadena, San Diego, Phoenix, Santa Barbara County, Orange County, San Diego County, Maricopa County, Arizona, and now Monterey Park, California has joined the list. You will get better results, too, by using Sinclair motor oils. Sinclair Pennsylvania and Sinclair Opaline are both thoroughly de-waxed and de-jellied, and they come to you in refinery-sealed, tamper-proof cans. They flow freely, will not break down under terrific engine heat, and they save repair bills. Any car worth oiling is worth oiling well, so insist on Sinclair motor oil. If you haven't had your free copy of Calling All Cars News this month, drive into your nearest independent Rio Grande service station tomorrow and get one. It's brim full of exciting movie news and pictures, detective stories, radio schedules, and other special features. Get your copy tomorrow.
Cars, attention all Los Angeles County Sheriff's cars to cancellation of broadcast 170 regarding a bank robbery and shooting. Suspects in this case are now in custody. That's all. Rosenquist.
Your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company. Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 171 regarding a shooting at 1333 New Hampshire. See the man at that address for further information. That's all. Rosenquist.
Could you be a good detective? Well, how good is your memory? It might interest you to know that the average Calling All Cars fan has heard a certain fact about Rio Grande cracked gasoline between 30 and 50 times during the last 3 years. I'm going to start the phrase, and you see if you can repeat it ahead of me as I read slowly. Ready? More police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment use Rio Grande cracked gasoline wherever it is sold than any other brand. Did you come pretty close? Now that you have the strongest clue in your search for the most perfect automobile performance, how long will it take you to get it? Or have you already gotten it? Can you logically, intelligently, truthfully compare any other claims made for gasoline to this proved fact of police car performance? There is no other testing ground to compare with the 55 million miles driven by emergency equipment that exclusively uses Rio Grande cracked gasoline. That's driving like you do, only harder. It's starting, stopping, slow, long miles of economical cruising, acceleration, pickup, speeding, roaring with sirens screaming. It's got everything, and you've already got the solution. It's calling your car to your neighborhood Rio Grande dealer to pick up that police car performance in your own car. And remember, don't let it get away from you. Once again, we present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. The story you will hear tonight should have been an open and shut case. In fact, it started out that way, and the officers investigating it felt assured that they had the criminal in their hands, when suddenly one of those rare happenings occurred that brought their case crumbling down on their heads, made it necessary for them to start all over again. This alone would have been enough to discourage many people, but to the officers, trained in the police school of thoroughness, patience, efficiency, it was no more than a routine occurrence. What they did about it and what their results were, you may hear for yourself in tonight's Calling All Cars.
It is the evening of August 30th, 1935. In a fashionable flat on New Hampshire Street in Los Angeles, 6 people are seated at a dinner table. The dessert course eaten, they linger over their after-dinner coffee before starting an evening round of bridge.
Oh, boy. Well, George, you've gone and done it again. There's nothing to do but repeat what I've said so many times before. This is the best meal I've ever eaten.
Yeah, you know, I'm firmly convinced the success of a meal depends a great deal on what's served before. The food itself doesn't have everything to do with it. And you will grant me that a few cocktails help, won't you?
Why, George, do you mean that you plied us with liquor and that steak that we just ate was really nothing but dog food?
This isn't going to be so funny.
Hey, what is this? Jim! Walters is down. She shot Walters.
Somebody do something! Get
In the confusion, the woman with the gun escapes, and Phelps, without waiting for the doctor whom he had called to arrive, rushes Walters to the Georgia Street Receiving Hospital himself. From there, the police receive an account of the shooting, and Detectives Bain and Sheldon are sent immediately to investigate.
Now, you people sit down. We want to ask you a few questions. Now, which one of you is George Ennis?
I am.
Now, you come with us while we look the place over. The rest of you stay here.
This is the dining room, officer. She came in through that door over there and shot Jim. We were all sitting at the table laughing and...
Wait a minute. What did she look like?
She was tall, I think.
What do you mean you think she was tall? Don't you know?
Well, we were all so confused. I just got a glimpse of her.
You think she stood over by that door when she shot?
Yes, that's the door she came through. It was no pleasant
Does
experience.
that door lead to the back door?
Yes, it opens into a hall that runs to the back door.
And where's the kitchen?
It's through that door over there.
Was anyone in it at the time of the shooting?
No. The cook left as soon as she served the coffee.
Sheldon, you better look around and see if you can find anything interesting while I ask Mr. Ennis a few more questions. See if you can find any stray slugs. There must be some around.
Okay.
Now, Ennis, you say you think this woman was tall. Is there anything else you noticed about her? How was she dressed?
It seems to me that she was wearing a red dress. And I think she had a black hat on. Say, you know, her voice sounded a lot like Shirley Nealon.
Shirley Nealon? Who's that?
Oh, she's a girl that Walters used to go around with.
Oh, Walters used to go around with her. Hey, this is turning out all right. Did you know her very well?
Pretty well. They came up to the flat together quite frequently. Not recently, though. Not for quite a while.
You know if he still sees her?
No, I don't think so. At least I haven't seen her. No, I'm quite sure that they don't see one another anymore. They used to be together quite a lot, though.
What did she look like?
Well, she's tall. She has dark hair. She's quite good looking. She used to be a model. Still is, I guess.
All right, tall and dark, huh? You said the woman that shot Walters was tall. Was she dark?
Why, I don't know. I would even swear that she was tall. I just got a glimpse of her.
Hey,
you
Bang.
see, she was...
She was sure wild. She's got slugs scattered all over the place. Looks like she's plenty nervous.
Yeah. Looks like she wasn't so smart either. Say, Mr. Ennis, do you remember what Walters did when she broke in?
No, I don't. We were all so confused, and it happened so quickly, you know. But, well, it seems to me that she was looking at Jim all the time. Say.
Well, what?
That's right. She didn't even glance at the rest of us. She was looking at Jim Walters all the time. You see, he was sitting over there, and I was sitting right here.
Elated over the seeming simplicity of the case, Bain and Sheldon hurry back to headquarters and report their findings. Captain R.M. Davis, Detective Thad Brown, and the third officer go to the hospital where Walters, not fatally injured, is resting. Their pride in what they thought was such rapid progress is short-lived, however. For after a few short seconds with the man who had been shot...
Well, Mr. Walters, it didn't take us long to find out who the woman was that shot you.
What? Woman?
Yeah, she was an old friend of yours. You know Shirley Nealon, don't you?
Well, yes, I know her. Well, she's been in Denver for some time past.
Well, she's the one who shot you.
What? Why, you're crazy. She didn't shoot me. Yes, and I don't know who did. There's no way I can tell you this much. You're off on the wrong foot, see? Shirley Nealon didn't have anything to do with it.
Mulling over these developments, which have changed what seemed at first an open-shut case against Shirley Nealon into a baffling example of diverse testimony, the three officers returned to headquarters to map out a plan of procedure. Learned that a .38 caliber slug from a Smith & Wesson gun has been removed from Walter's body. Proceed to his house on 103rd Street.
Well, that's the address. Let's go.
Say, there's a car in that driveway. Come on.
Yeah, Ford coupe. I'll take a look at that identification slip. Here, give me that flashlight. Well, Miss Shirley Nealon, and an address on 64th Street. Now, isn't that a coincidence? Corsini, you go down the street and call for a couple of men to stake this house out. Brown and I will look the place over now. If we aren't here when you come back, stick around. We'll be over at this address on 64th Street.
Okay. We passed a drugstore down a couple of blocks. I'll go there.
Come on. Let's have a look around back.
Hey, wait a minute. Those hounds will wake the whole neighborhood. I don't think they like us anyway.
Yeah. Hey, suppose we forget about the back and let Fido and his pals find something else for dinner.
but the noisy dogs, Davis and Brown limit their search to the house itself. Finding nothing of consequence, they remove the distributor from the car in the driveway and go to the address on the identification slip. It is 2 in the morning when Davis and Brown arrive at Shirley Nealon's house on East 64th Street.
It's a fine time of the morning to be waking people up. We'll probably get shot.
Well, it can't be helped. Come on, exercise your knuckles.
This hurts me almost as much as it hurts you, people.
Come on, open up. Open up there.
Who's there? What do you want?
Police officers, we want to talk to you.
Oh, all right, I'll be right down just a minute.
Wonder who he is.
I don't know. We'll soon find out, though. I just hope the Nealon woman is here.
So do I.
Boy, I could do with a little sleep. Here he comes.
What do you want?
We want to come in and ask you a few questions.
Huh?
Is that all right?
Oh, certainly. Come right in.
Okay.
Come in here and sit down. Oh. What's this all about? What do you want from me, anyway?
We just want to ask you a few questions. First, do you know Shirley Nealon?
Shirley Why, certainly I know her. She's my stepdaughter. Why?
Does Miss Nealon live here?
No. No, she has an apartment near 8th and Rampart. She visits quite often, though. Her brother said she was here early last evening.
She was here last night, eh?
That's what her brother said. I didn't see her.
Did you ever own a gun?
Yes. Yes, I have one now. And I have a permit to carry it, too. I'll go get it if you want.
Never mind that. Where do you usually keep your gun?
Well, under the mattress of my bed.
Why under the mattress?
Well, I don't like to have it around where anyone might find it. Dangerous to have people fooling with a loaded revolver.
Is the gun there now?
Was at 6 o'clock last night. I took it out to see if the barrel was rusting.
What kind of a gun is it?
It's 38. I don't like anything bigger. You know, the kick kind of throws you...
What kind of a gun is it? What company made it?
Oh, it's a Smith & Wesson. I thought you meant what the caliber was.
Do you mind if we look at your gun?
No, I'll go get it.
We'll go with you.
Yeah, well, my room is just up the short stairs. Come right along.
Say, what kind of a car does your stepdaughter drive?
It's Ford Coupe. Hey, why are you asking all these questions? I'd like to know what this thing's all about.
You just answer the questions.
Well, of course, I'll help the law as much as possible, but I'd like to know what it's all about.
This your room?
Yes. The gun's right under the corner of this mattress right here. I put it in...
Well?
Well, it's gone.
You sure you didn't know that all the time?
Must be here. It was here last evening. It was right there.
Yeah, was this brother of Nealon's? Where is he?
Well, he's in his room. I'll go get him if you want.
Might be a good idea. And, don't forget to come back.
Huh? Oh, no, sir. No, I'll be right back. Just a minute.
This is a funny one.
Yeah, it sure is.
It doesn't work out right at all. It's funny that this Nealon woman's stepfather should have a gun just like the one that was used on Walt.
Yeah. And the gun's gone now.
Well, Walt certainly knew whether she shot him or not. He evidently was pretty well acquainted with her.
Yeah. But it isn't right at all. Say, take another look for that gun, will you?
Okay, I'll take this mattress off. Take the rest of this bed. Well, here goes. No, nothing here at all.
Oh, well, let it go then. Hey, here they come back. Maybe the brother can tell us something.
Hope so. Everybody else is talking in circles.
Here's my son, officer.
Good. Now, it'll be a lot easier for everybody if you'll just answer our questions and don't talk otherwise.
Yes, that's right, son. I don't understand either, so let's do what they say.
Now, when did you see your sister last?
She was here at about 7:30.
You know what she came after?
Well, she didn't exactly come after anything.
What do you mean?
Well, she came in and asked to use the phone first.
You know who she called?
No.
Did you talk to her after she made the call?
No, she just came in and sat down and then jumped up and said she just remembered something she had to get in the other apartment.
What other apartment? This one?
Yes.
What did she do?
Well, I heard her in here, and then she went out to her car and she drove away.
And you didn't talk to her anymore?
Yes, she phoned about 11.
What did she say? Do you remember?
Yes. She said to tell her mother that she was all right, and that she wouldn't be home, that she was staying at her girlfriend's house. She asked if any people had been about looking for her. She asked
What did you
if
say?
any people had been about looking for her.
Now, that isn't what you started to say. What exactly did she say?
I believe my sister said, have any cars been out there after me? Realizing after more questioning that they can gain no further information, the two officers leave the house on 64th Street. Return again to headquarters, where they find welcome news. The men guarding Walter's home have taken into custody a woman in red. Tired as they are, they speed at once to the house. Find the woman seated comfortably in a chair, smoking, surrounded by officers. The wall clock reads just 4 a.m.
That's all, boys. Brown and I will ask the lady a few questions. Now, maybe you can tell us just what you were doing in Mr. Walters' house.
I am Mrs. Walters.
What? Wait a minute, will you? Aren't you Shirley Nealon?
Yes, that is my professional name.
And yet you say your name is Mrs. Walters.
Mr. Walters and I were married in Newman.
Did you know that Walters was shot tonight?
Yes.
How did you know?
I called Mr. Ennis's apartment. He told me. It's not serious, is it?
Yes, but he'll live. He'll be in court to testify against you.
Testify against me? Why, I didn't have anything to do with it.
Tell us just what you did yesterday.
Well, I slept until around noon. Then I went downtown to a dentist. After the work had been done, I went to a theater. I wanted to kill some time. You see, I had a dinner engagement with Mr. Walters. After the theater, I called him.
Did Mr. Walters meet you for dinner?
No, he didn't.
Did you go to your stepfather's on 64th Street after you called him?
No.
Well, didn't you go there and take your stepfather's gun?
Gun? I didn't even know he had a gun.
Yes, your stepfather has a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson pistol.
Well.
And that's the same kind of a gun that was used to shoot Walters.
Well, I didn't know he had a gun. I didn't have anything to do with the rest of it. I wasn't even there when Mr. Walters was shot.
Where were you?
I was here. After I called Mr. Walters from downtown, I came here and waited for him. He didn't come, and I telephoned several people. I called Mr. Ennis's and asked if he was there.
What did he say?
He said that Mr. Walters wasn't there, but that he expected him for dinner.
Had Walters asked you to come to dinner?
No. Maybe he didn't know that I was in town. You see, I've been away for some time.
Yeah? He knew you were back.
Well, then I don't know why he didn't ask me.
How long did you stay here at the house?
I've been here ever since. I called Mr. Ennis again a little after 9. That's when I found out about the shooting.
Now, you weren't here when we first came to the house.
No.
But your car was here. It had recently been running. The radiator was still warm. Where were you then?
Well, I was in the backyard.
In the backyard? What were you doing in the backyard? You weren't hiding from anyone by any chance, were you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was. After I found out about Mr. Walters being shot, I went out of the house and started to back my car out of the driveway. And then I saw a car drive up, and I thought it was the police, and they'd think I had something to do with it. So I ran out into the backyard.
Where were you in the backyard?
I was hiding in the corner, behind the dogs.
How long did you stay there?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a half an hour. By that time, there were more officers around. Finally, I decided that I didn't have anything to be afraid of. So I walked in the back door, and that's when the police found me.
Repeated questioning brings no results. Davis and Brown finally take the woman to the Central Homicide Office, turn her over to Captain H.J. Wallace, whose expert questioning still fails to change her story. Realizing that they must have more physical evidence, the men wait for the sun to arrive, then go once more to Walter's house to search the grounds. Beginning at the rear of the premises, they comb the backyard. Find nothing.
Well, you crossed the backyard off our list.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's take a look at the back porch and then go through the house again. You take that side, and I'll take this. Look everywhere.
Right.
Over here. Over there.
Hey!
What?
Look at this.
What is it?
A .38 caliber Smith & Wesson.
Ah, that's just what we want. Where did you find it?
In that laundry bag, which makes it all pretty simple. She put it in there last night just before she went in the house, after hiding in the yard.
Although jubilant over finding the gun, the men are conscious of the fact that however conclusive the evidence may seem to them, to a jury it might carry but little weight without further corroborative facts. They decide to carry their search farther. They go to Ennis's flat, find nothing around the building, but across the street find a woman who gives them some interesting detail.
I had a guest last night. She came over for dinner, and then we played bridge afterwards. She and my husband and my brother who was staying with us. Well, at about 11:30, she said that she thought that she had better go home, so I showed her to the door. I turned on the porch light, and we stood on the porch talking, for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then I went over to look at a plant that I had setting on the railing. And in the bushes at that end of the porch, I saw a woman crouching. Well, I screamed, and she ran across the street and jumped into a car. Then I called my husband, and when he came out, she jumped out of that car and ran down the street and jumped into another one and drove off.
Did you notice what kind of a car it was that she drove away in?
Well, I couldn't be sure, but, it was a small car, though. Mm-hmm. It was a coupe.
A small coupe, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been a Ford?
Yes, it could have been. As a matter of fact, I think it was a Ford. Oh, it was awfully scary. I didn't sleep a wink all night. I tell you, officer, had I not been the type of woman that I am, things might have been very different. Why, people's hearts have stopped for less than that.
From another woman who lives opposite the Ennis flat, they get more information.
Well, I had been to a show, and as I was coming up the walk to our front porch, a woman called to me from the side of the house. She wanted me to call Mr. Ennis. I didn't see why she wanted me to call him. I should think that if she'd wanted him, she could go and call him herself. So I told her that Mr. Ennis had gone to bed. She asked me if I was sure, and I told her yes. I didn't know, of course. Well, just then a car came up to Mr. Ennis's place, and a lot of policemen got out. Then the woman ran into the backyard.
Armed with these additional facts, Davis and Brown, not entirely satisfied with Walter's story of the shooting, and hoping that these developments will induce him to alter his original version of the near tragedy, go again to the Georgia Street Receiving Hospital.
Well, hello there. Well, how are you getting along?
Hello, Walters. You know, we found a few things that sound important. And we think that maybe you'll change your mind about Shirley Nealon after you've heard them.
Oh, no, you're all wrong about that. She didn't do it.
We found her at your house early this morning. Had quite a talk with her.
Well, she says she didn't do it, doesn't she?
Yes. But, Walters, we found the gun on your back porch.
The gun? How do you know it was the same gun?
It was a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson. That's the kind of a gun that was used on you.
No, you're all wrong. Oh, say, I have a gun like that. Well, the one you found must have been mine.
What was it doing in a laundry bag on the back porch?
Laundry bag?
Yeah. That's where we found it.
Oh, sure, yeah, I remember that. It was in my car, and I didn't want to take it away in the house, see? So I just put it in the laundry bag.
That's funny. Miss Nealon's stepfather had a gun just like that, too. Only when he went to get it, it was gone.
Oh, well, that doesn't mean anything.
No, that doesn't mean anything. Only it's funny, because this Nealon woman of yours was seen at her stepfather's between the time he saw the gun at 6 o'clock and the time he looked for it about 2 this morning.
Well, that doesn't prove that she did it. Now, look, I know Shirley better than you do. And I say that she didn't do it. I don't know who did it.
Acting like the accused instead of a potential murder victim under the questioning, Walters clings stubbornly to his original contention. However, the testimony of the neighbors, her own dubious account of her movements, the gun, and the Ford car is enough evidence to bring Shirley Nealon to trial. On October 18th, 1935, she appears before Superior Judge Vickers in a hectic trial where Walters, on the side of the state, gives testimony obviously in favor of the defendant. But the jury, after 40 minutes of deliberation, announces a verdict of guilty as charged in the information. On November 1st, Judge Vickers sentences Shirley Nealon.
Shirley Nealon, you've been found guilty as charged. Therefore, I sentence you to from 1 to 20 years in Tehachapi Prison.
But the last chapter has not been written in the strange drama when Shirley Nealon is taken to prison. For 2 months later, Jim Walters finds himself facing Judge Agler. Not in the role of witness this time, but as defendant. listens in silent amazement as the court
This
shows him.
sympathizes with the reason behind your testimony. However, there is a law that says a person found to be guilty of false evidence shall be liable to a charge of perjury. Shirley Nealon has been found guilty of the charges against her, which can mean only one thing, that you, Jim Walters, have, for some strange, distorted sense of chivalry, perjured yourself in this court. Therefore, I sentence you to serve the term provided by law for such an offense, namely, from 1 to 10 years in San Quentin Penitentiary.
So it was that this strange man, who chose to lie under oath rather than testify against his paramour, found out too late the fact that the law cannot be trifled with. By perjuring himself as he did, Jim Walters played a losing game. And although it is too late for him to learn a lesson from it, perhaps you who are listening will realize more fully the fact that the laws of the country were made to protect you. When you violate them, you are going out of your way to ask for just one thing: trouble.
Thank you, Chief Davis. Tonight, we salute Coconino County, Arizona, the second largest county in the United States, 18,623 square miles in area. And the gasoline used in her sheriff's cars must give police car performance. So, Coconino County becomes the latest addition to the ever-growing list of cities and counties specifying Rio Grande gasoline exclusively. Now, you can get exactly the same gasoline at your nearest independent Rio Grande dealer. Try it tomorrow. Your independent Rio Grande dealer also has a particularly newsy issue of Calling All Cars News for you this week. Something for every member of the family. Pictures, movie and radio gossip galore. Get your copy tomorrow. And don't forget to ask next time for Sinclair Motor Oil. Sinclair Pennsylvania and Sinclair Opaline, the thoroughly de-waxed, de-jellied motor oils that you can use all year round without changing grades. See your Rio Grande dealer tomorrow.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. A cancellation broadcast 171 regarding a shooting. The suspect in this case is now in custody. That's all. Rose Rosenquist.
Your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by Rio Grande.
San Diego Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 172. Be on the lookout for two men described as soldiers. Last seen driving Dodge touring car. One man has a boy. Thought to be heading for Mexican border. These men are killers, that's all.
Million miles, over 2,000 times around the world. What a test for gasoline. That's the police car performance test, run for you by your police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and emergency equipment last year. That's Rio Grande's cracked gasoline's performance. Almost all gasolines are advertised as having more power, more pickup, more mileage, but no test compares with the operation of emergency equipment. For police cars like your own, have long, smooth cruising miles that must be economical. They start and stop in traffic all day long. But when those accelerators go down to the floor and the sirens open wide, it's Rio Grande cracked gasoline, and only Rio Grande, that powers more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment wherever it is sold than any other brand. 50 million miles. That should be the test to end all tests for gasoline as far as you are concerned. When those to whom gasoline performance means the most overwhelmingly choose Rio Grande cracked. And remember, Rio Grande's 50 million mile tests are run with the same gasoline that you can buy at your independent Rio Grande dealers. Tonight it is our pleasure to present Captain Harry J. Kelly, Chief of Detectives of the San Diego Police Department. Captain Kelly.
Good evening. The case you will hear tonight is an excellent example of what happens when human beings make the mistake of taking the first step on the wrong side of the law. One small thing leads to another until the final and costliest error is made. That have taken another human's life. The men who found themselves assigned to the job of running the criminals in tonight's story down discovered that they had bitten off almost more than they could chew. It was more than a tough job. It was a seeming impossibility. However, because part of their early training in the importance of hanging on to a clue, no matter how thin it may seem, these officers managed to push aside the obstacles in their way and eventually accomplish the impossible, that of bringing their men back to face justice. It was a long chase and a hard one, but it proved very definitely that in a final analysis, crime is a poor paying business.
It is the morning of January 10th, 1918. John C. Shelton, lineman for the Consolidated Gas and Electric Company of San Diego, and two members of his crew are repairing a telephone line. The sun, shining brightly, throws shadows of eucalyptus trees clearly on the warm surface of a paved road. The sun, the heat, after a long siege of winter rains, creates a relaxing atmosphere. The men long to be finished with the job, long to rest during their noon hour. Shelton is perched on the cross arm of a telephone pole. The others are waiting below.
Are you going to want a new insulator for that line, Shelton?
No, the insulator's all right. The line itself is just loosened a little. I'll get it in a minute. Needs a little tightening is all.
You can finish any time you want to, as far as I'm concerned. I'm hungry. I want to sit down in the sun and eat for days and days and days. Some nice cool milk, some good sandwiches. It seems to me you're always hungry. Well, I got to keep going some way. I'll bet you and Shelton would just as soon stretch out in the sun for a while. Isn't that right, Shelton?
What's that?
I was just saying that this is a sort of a lazy day.
Yeah, you're right. I've got this finished now. We can rest for a while. Say, this is a swell day, all right. Quiet, peaceful. Hey, there's a guy that has the right idea. Stretched out in the grass over there. He looks like he's out like a light. Oh, that's the life. Nothing to do but sleep. Hey, wait a minute. You can't be sleeping like that. His face is right in the dirt.
Huh?
Yeah. You guys take a run over there and see what's wrong with him.
Okay. Come on, Joe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here he is. Hey, this guy's dead. There's a hole in the back of his head.
Ooh.
You better call the police, Shelton.
Yeah. Well, wait till I tap this wire and see if I can get through a line into police headquarters.
Acting upon this information, Chief Hayes of the San Diego Police Department immediately sends Detective Lieutenants Harry Kelly and James Patrick to the scene. Accompanied by Chief of Police S.P. McMullen and Captain of Detectives Joseph Myers, the men make a search. From the body, they remove several letters in the wallet, which establishes the victim's identity as being one Frank McCrary, a San Diego taxi driver. Tire marks show where a car has been driven off the road, stopped, turned around, and headed back on the highway going east. And slim as this lead seems, Myers and Kelly decide to follow the tracks, while the others finish the investigation of the murder scene, then return to headquarters. The first move is to check on McCrary's actions as far as possible, And accordingly, Sergeant Joseph Lopez is assigned the task. His initial step is to interrogate a cab driver friend of McCrary's.
Is your name registered?
Yeah, but if you're a salesman, you're wasting your time. I'm very busy.
Now,
My
wait
wife
just a minute. I'm sorry that you're busy, but I'll have to take some of your time.
I would be interested in anything.
Hey, wait a minute, will you? I'm from the police, Detective Lopez, and I'm going to ask you some questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Are you sure you have the right place? I'm sure I didn't do nothing.
If you just calm down for a minute, I'll tell you what I want. I want to ask you some questions about Frank McCrary. Do you know him?
Frank McCrary? Oh, yes, I know Frank McCrary. Has he gotten into trouble? I didn't think he ever did anything wrong.
Well, McCrary was killed last night.
Killed?
Yeah.
Does his family know about it? They live right down the street. I thought everybody liked Who did
wait
it?
just a minute, will you? We don't know who did it. He was found out on the road to Lemon Grove with a bullet hole in his head.
Well, it seems funny to me that anyone... Dead. Oh, everybody liked
Now, look,
him.
do you keep your cab near McCrary's?
Yeah, but I assure you I didn't see nobody who did it. We all like McCrary.
Yeah, well, did you see him last night?
No, I was busy driving a couple of soldiers. Say, wait a minute. Where did you say they found McCrary?
Up on the road to Lemon Grove. He was just off the side in some grass and weeds.
The road to Lemon Grove. Lemon Grove.
Well, what's the sudden brown study about?
I was just thinking about them soldiers. And about Frank being found on that
Now,
same road.
Look, Mr. Register, if you've got something to tell me, how about coming out of it in a minute and talking?
Well, I
what
drove
about
a couple
these
of soldiers out that way last night, you see. About halfway to Lemon Grove, they got on my nerves, and I pulled a gag and brought them back. They both had blue cap cords.
What's the cap cords got to do with it?
Oh, I don't know. Only I just happen to remember them, that's all.
I see. Well, look, suppose you tell me just what these two soldiers did from the time you picked them up on. Can you do that?
Well, I didn't have supper until late because my wife's been sick. She had an operation. I guess I needn't tell you.
No, don't bother. Just tell me what the soldiers did, if you will.
Yeah, I will. Well, they came up and asked me to take them to Lemon Grove, you see, and I said, sure, boys, jump in, and started out. After a while, one of them leaned over in the seat and began to ask questions about the car. I guess he'd never driven a car and wanted to learn, you see, and I told him I'd teach him for $5. I've had quite a few people want to learn, you know. I think everybody should learn to drive a car, don't you?
Yes, I do. Now, what did the soldiers do?
Oh, well, this guy wanted to know all about the gear shifts and stuff, and I answered his questions for a while. But when we got to National City, he told me to take a shortcut down the road, see, and I knew there wasn't a shortcut, and I got suspicious, and I stalled my motor. You see, and I just pulled the choke out, and it stalls. They didn't even catch on. I guess they're pretty dumb about cars, all right. I think they'd have seen me pull out the joke, wouldn't you?
Yes. Then what happened?
Well, I was scared. Oh, I was scared, but I didn't let them know it, see. I told them that I had engine trouble. I says, I guess we better go back, boys. And they didn't say anything, so I turned around and come back. Well, when we got within the city limits, they said they wanted to get out, and I said, well, heck, boys, I'll take you right back where I picked you up. I won't charge you anything neither. No use of paying for what you don't get. They wouldn't hear of it, so I let them out at the edge of the city. They said they'd take the streetcar and the rest of the way. Well, I was willing to drive them back downtown because I had to go there anyway, but they just got out.
Well, do you think you could identify them if you saw them again?
Well, do you think they're the ones who did it? Sure, I'd know them. They're both young. But they didn't look like they'd do anything like that. You know, I was a little suspicious at the time, but I didn't think they'd kill nobody. If I'd thought that, you know what I'd done? I'd call the police, that's what. They were young. And they said, let's see now, they said they were from the 157th Infantry, that's it. Oh, I've seen worse-looking men.
Now, wait just a minute, Mr. Register. Isn't there anything special you can remember about them?
Well, let me see. Of course, I didn't see him much, you know, because in the back seat, only one of them, just one of them talked. He was the oldest one, I think. He said, oh, a low voice, had an awful low voice. Say, there's Metz. He knows McCrary. Do you want to talk to him? I'll call him over if you do.
Yeah, call him.
Hey, Matt! Yeah? Come here! I don't think he knows anything about it. He's a pretty good friend of McCrary's. Come here, Matt. Hurry. Poor McCrary. I didn't think nobody'd want to hurt him. Hello, Matt. Say, McCrary was killed last night. This is a detective. I was telling about how everybody liked McCrary.
McCrary killed? Well, I was just talking to him last night. Why, that's awful.
You saw him last night?
Well, yeah. We stood by his car and talked for a while.
What sort of a car did McCrary drive?
A Dodge touring car.
Well, now, did you happen to see two soldiers around while you were there?
Yeah. Two came up and hired his car while I was talking to him. You know who did it?
No. We're trying to find out. Suppose you tell me what these soldiers did.
Well, like I said, we were standing there, and they came up and asked Frank how long would it take to drive over to Lemon Grove, and he said it would take about an hour and a half, and they said it would be fine, and jumped in the back seat and drove down 5th Street.
But what time was that?
Well, I'd been to a show. It was about 10:30.
No, you know, it just doesn't seem right not to have poor old Frank around no more. Oh, I'd like to lay my hands
just a moment. Do either of you know if McCrary carried much money around with him?
Well, I don't think so. None of us carry much more, you know, just enough to make change. It isn't safe these times. You never know. I never carry anything but a few tools under my front seat. Frank used to carry a lap robe in his. I'd never do that. You know, I remember one time...
Just a minute. You say he carried a lap robe?
Yeah, I remember. It was a bright-colored one. Blue and red checks.
Well, that may help. Now, look, Metz, do you think you could tell them if you saw them again?
Well, sure, I could tell them in a minute. I got a good memory for faces. They were young, and both of them were dark. The older one, the one who did all the talking, had sharp features, and the young one had flat features. He was shorter.
Mm-hmm. Remember anything else?
See, listen, did the one who did the talking have a low voice, Metz? Low voice?
Yeah, that's right. He had a deep voice.
They must be the same ones. I remember the voice.
Say, did they get out with you, too?
Yeah, only I got suspicious and turned around when I was out in National City.
Gee.
Yeah, and supposing I hadn't turned around, maybe McCrary would be talking to you, and I'd be laying out there with a hole in my head.
A short time later, Myers and Kelly, who were heading east on the road where McCrary was found, called their office in San Diego. Learn what has been discovered there. Learn that the two men they are following are soldiers. One with an exceptionally low-pitched voice, that they are traveling in a Dodge touring car. Learn of the brightly colored lap robe. With these clues, they continue along the road taken by the suspects, which leads through Imperial Valley. Pick up more bits of information. The foreman of a railroad construction gang reports that he has seen a Dodge touring car parked on the side of the road with two soldiers working on the motor. The men rush to the spot, find nothing but a few footprints and an oily rag. Realizing, however, that they're on the right track and that the men have lost time, they speed to El Centro. Go to the sheriff of Imperial County, James Applestill, to request his cooperation.
Sheriff, we followed these men from San Diego. We're sure we were on the right track. In fact, we found traces of them just a few miles outside of El Centro. But we're going to have help now. You see, there are so many places they might go from here that, well, it would be next to impossible for two men to accomplish anything. We know we're close to them because they had engine trouble. We've got to have help now.
Well, I'll be glad to do all I can, boys. Now, if the men you're trailing are the murderers, they'll undoubtedly head for the Mexican border. Are you sure they're in uniforms?
Well, they've been identified as soldiers by everyone we've talked to.
Well, in that case, they'll have a hard time getting into Arizona. So I think the logical place to look for them is along the border. I'll call Calexico and have the officers from there make all the border points.
Sheriff, Mr. Bright's outside and wants to see you.
All right, send him in.
Yes, sir.
Now, get that call in. Can you think of any additional dope on those men?
No, I think you have it all.
Okay, I'll pass it along.
Yes, sir.
And get me the Calexico police.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Bright. I'll be right with you.
Oh, there's no hurry.
Mexico Police, Johnson speaking.
Hello, Johnson. Applestill speaking.
Oh, hello, Sheriff. Something I can do?
Yes. I'd like to have you cover the border roads for me and help me pick up some men, Johnson. Now, here's the description. There are two of them, both in Army uniforms, 157th Infantry. Both dark. One has a very low-pitched voice. Huh? Yes, that's right, a low-pitched voice. Yeah, both young. They're driving a Dodge touring car. That's all we have on them.
We'll keep our eyes open, Sheriff.
All right. We'd like to get them. They're killers. Let me know as soon as anything develops.
What's all this about, Sheriff, these men in a Dodge?
A couple of men who committed a murder in San Diego are in this vicinity.
Did you say they were in a Dodge touring car?
Yeah, that's right. Why?
Because I passed a car like that on my way into town just a few minutes ago, parked on the side of the road.
Following up this bit of unexpected information, Captain Myers and Detective Kelly, led by Bright, are soon examining the car, which is a ruin. A brightly colored lap robe positively identifies it as belonging to McCrary. The spot where it is found is only a few hundred yards from the international border, which is unguarded at this point. But one conclusion is left. The fugitives have crossed the border into the Republic of Mexico. After a short conference, Myers and Kelly decide to continue after them personally. Hurried plans are made, and Deputy Sheriff Henry Gonzalez, well known along the border, is summoned.
Gonzalez, you probably know better than we do what we're going to get into down there.
See, I know.
Well, from now on, everything depends on luck. We may get help from the officials, and we may not. No matter what happens, we're going to do everything we can to get those men.
See, I will do everything I can to help.
So, early on the morning of January 11, 1918, the three men cross the border, speed along the nearly impassable Mexican roads. Suddenly, with no warning, their car comes to a shuddering halt, refuses to start again. Surrounded by an inquisitive group of natives, Myers at the wheel listens to the discouraging sound of a laboring starter.
Well, it looks like we're through with the car.
Sure does.
I'll try it once more.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
She's all through, I guess.
No fooling.
Gonzalez, see if anyone in this crowd has horses that we can buy.
See, I try.
Any of us there?
There's a car in the world that could stand up on these roads.
Yeah, fine country.
Just the place I've been looking for to spend my vacation, I don't think.
Senor May.
Yeah? What luck?
Senor, this man, he had horses. He also see two American people that runs around.
2 Americans? Good. Get him to stay here and ask him where we can get a hold of the police.
2 hours later, Myers, Kelly, and Gonzalez, accompanied by a group of Mexican police, are within 2 miles of the ranch where the fugitives have been seen.
Hey, you know, this ride can end any time as far as I'm concerned. Boy, I might say that I'm just a little bit sore.
No, I guess we aren't the men we used to be. I'm beginning to feel it, too.
Yeah. Hey, look at Gonzalez, you know. He's like a sack in that saddle. You know, that guy was probably born on a horse.
Yeah. Hey, look. They're all stopping. What do you suppose is up?
Which means?
Hey, Gonzalez, what's the idea? Tell them to keep going.
1 minute, senor. I find out why they have stopped.
¿Por qué no vayamos?
No vayamos más, señor. El rancho Cora escondido para mi hermano.
They say they will go no farther. They say this ranch belongs to one of the men's brothers. He will not go to it.
You tell them we don't want the brother. Tell them we want the men that are there.
Sure.
I already tell them that. They say the men are friends. They say they will not go.
Well, we'll go alone then. Find out how to get there.
They will not tell me, senor. They say we cannot go. They will be mad. I think it is better we do not go.
Oh, I'm not going to give up when I'm this close. You tell them to go back. We'll find the place.
I think it is better we do not go, senor. It is better we keep friendly.
Balked at every turn, Myers and Kelly once again find themselves left with no choice but to return to Mexicali. But arriving there, they find news. The foreman, who earlier had tipped Gonzalez off as to the whereabouts of the suspects, claims that less than an hour after Myers and Kelly had left for the ranch, the 2 soldiers had appeared in Mexicali. But they apparently had discovered the fact that they were being followed and had left immediately. Realizing this makes matters even worse than before, the 2 detectives first checked with the Mexican military commander of the district of Baja California, Governor Esteban Cantu, who promises to have all his posts keep a lookout for the criminals. Then called San Diego to inform Chief Hayes of their progress. And here they receive their second piece of news within the day when Chief Hayes orders them back to San Diego. As he has uncovered new evidence as to the identity of the wanted men. Accordingly, Myers and Kelly make the drive back to San Diego. Find that from a list of Army deserters, 2 men and pictures of 2 more men answering the description of the murderers are being held for identification. The first 2 are released after being faced by Metz and Register, the cab drivers. But when they are shown the pictures of the other 2...
These are the 2. These are the ones who took the ride with me. They're the same ones, only I got suspicions and I came back. I remember this one. He's the one that told me to go down that street. He's the one that had the low voice, and he's the one that asked me all about the gear shift. I thought it was funny at the time, too. Are they the ones who killed McCrary? Where are they, if I could just lay my hands...
Wait a minute. Let Metz have a look at it.
These are the ones, all right. Remember I told you one had sharp features?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, this is him. He's the one that had the deep voice. This other one has flat features, just like I said. They're the ones that drove away with McCrary that night, and I'm sure of it.
Fine. Well, that's about all you can do for us now. We want to get in touch with you later, so don't leave town unless you let us know. We'll call on you when we need you. Goodbye.
So long.
I told you I had the right
you're
dope
right
all
for
the
one
time
time.
on that. I told you.
Now, Kelly, you go out to Camp Kearney. Gather every single article you can find that belong to either of these men and bring them in.
Right.
We've got a little more to work with now. Check up on the Army records, too.
Three hours later, the officer returned.
Well, how'd it go, Kelly?
Not so hot. They made a good job of it. They destroyed every bit of writing they had except these 3 cards. Wait a minute till I find them. There they are. They're so dirty you can hardly read them.
What are their names?
William B. Grissom and Horace St. John Clark.
St. John, huh? That's a good one.
Yeah. Clark enlisted at Parkdale, Colorado, and Grissom at Denver.
Let me see those cards. Can you make anything out of them?
Yeah, I made a name out of one of them, but you better check it and see.
Yeah, let me see him. Gladys Galbraith. I think that's it. Oh, here's an address, 1900. 1900 Stout. 1900... Wait, what's this? Park Hill, car 40. Park Hill, car... I've heard that before.
Oh, boy, it doesn't mean a thing to me.
Wait a minute, I've got it. I remember. It's a car line in Denver.
Hey,
That's it.
I didn't know that you ever been to Denver.
Sure, I lived there for about 3 months. That's what it is, I'm sure of it. This must be an address there, too. Sure it is. I remember Stout Street now. Get me a clerk. I'll get a letter off to the police in Denver and have them get a hold of this Gladys Galbraith.
The Denver police, on receipt of the letter, go to work at once. Detectives George Eade and Henry J. Genty are sent to the address. And an hour later, they have Gladys Galbraith in their office, are questioning her.
Oh, Gladys, do you know two soldiers named Grissom and Clark?
Yeah, I know Bill Grissom. Why?
Have you heard from him lately?
No, I'm married now, and I don't want to have anything to do with him. I don't want to be bothered about him.
Well, where is he now, do you know?
No, I don't know where he is, and what's more, I wouldn't tell you if I did. What do you think of that?
Well, if you don't know where he is, you can't help us.
That's right. Can I go now?
Sure, you can go.
Thanks.
What's the idea, Ede? She knows more than she's telling.
I know that. We're going to keep our eyes on her and watch her mail. If she thinks we're through with her, she'll be natural. You know, she'll keep on doing the things she usually does.
Oh, I get it. And I'm just the boy to do it. So long.
2 days pass and nothing develops. But on the third day, Genty intercepts a letter addressed to Gladys Galbraith. And after one glance at the signature, he bursts in on Ede.
Here's a letter from Grissom.
Good. Let's have it. Don't tell anyone I am here. My life wouldn't be worth a dime if you did. I am working at the John Smith Ranch, 12 miles from Fountain. Listen to this. Come to Fountain on Tuesday. We'll meet you there, and we'll have the ranch payroll. We'll go to Mexico. I'll meet you at the corner of 3rd and Mill Street. Well, Gentry, something tells me you and I are due for a little trip to the corner of 3rd and Mill Street in Fountain.
And the next day at 1:30, Ede and Genty are in the little town of Fountain, standing on the corner of 3rd and Mill Street.
Well, nice, quiet little town, this.
Yeah. How are we supposed to pick out these guys when there isn't anybody on the street?
Well, there's no danger of any false arrests. That's one thing. Hey, don't look now. But I think our men are walking this way. One of them's looking around as if he's expecting somebody. Let's just slip around the corner here and see if they stop. Okay, it's far enough. They're stopping all right. Come on.
Hello, boys. Waiting for someone?
Yeah, what's it to you guys?
Say, you got an awful low voice, haven't you? You wouldn't be William Grissom, would you?
Nah. Come on, let's
Now,
go.
wait just a minute. I kind of think you are Grissom. The Grissom that killed a man in San Diego. What do you think of that?
You're nuts.
And the Grissom that wrote to Gladys Galbraith and said you'd meet her here with a payroll from the Smith Ranch.
You're nuts.
Come on, quit stalling. We got you cold, Grissom, and you too, Clark. Horace St. John Clark. How about it? Come on, spill it. Your name's Clark, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, it isn't any use, Bill. These guys have it.
Keep your mouth shut before I shut it for you.
Yeah, but they're liable to start shooting if we don't go with them.
Why, you cheap little squealer, I'm going to break every bone in your body.
Don't do that, Bill. I'm only trying to keep us out of more trouble.
Oh, by blabbing your face off to these flatwoods. Why, you...
Bill,
All right, boys. I hate to bust this up, but we've got a date in San Diego. Maybe you can finish things here. Come on, Ede. Help me tear these boys apart before they kill each other. Not that'd be such a bad idea at that. Save the law the trouble. Come on, break it up. Break it up.
Come on, you. Come on.
On May 16, 1918, Grissom was found guilty by the General Court-Martial Board at Camp Kearney of murder, theft, and desertion, and was sentenced to hang. Clark, although just 18, was found guilty of theft and desertion and sentenced to Leavenworth Prison for 30 years. Grissom beat the noose, however, when the President of the United States commuted his sentence to that of life at McNeil's federal prison. Thus, the brutal slaying of Frank McCrary was finally closed, with a notation written on the files, closed, by 3 bits of cardboard.
Thank you, Captain Kelly. Tonight, we salute great, prosperous Orange County, with her fast-growing cities, her clean white beaches, productive groves, her progressive citizens, and fearless and efficient law enforcement officers. Orange County again specifies Rio Grande cracked gasoline to power her police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment for another year. Every year, the list of cities and counties flying the Rio Grande banner grows larger. Oakland, Berkeley, Marysville, Fresno, Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, Pasadena, Monterey Park, San Diego County, Maricopa County, Coconino County, Arizona, and many, many other cities and counties specify Rio Grande cracked gasoline for its all-inclusive qualities of police car performance. And with Rio Grande cracked gasoline, the famous Sinclair oil completes the police car performance combination, whether in emergency equipment or in your own car. De-waxed, de-jellied, super-refined Sinclair is sold in 45 countries of the world for the finest lubrication of automobile, airplane, railway, and industrial motors. When you ask for Sinclair oil or Rio Grande cracked gasoline, ask your independent Rio Grande dealer for a copy of the new issue of Calling All Cars News, with latest radio and movie gossip, photographs of screen stars, featured articles, star interviews, and many interesting news stories. Make it a point to drive into an independent Rio Grande service station tomorrow and get police car performance in your own car.
San Diego Police calling all cars. Attention, all cars. Cancellation broadcast 172 regarding a murder and a robbery. Suspects in this case now in custody. That's all.
Narrator Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for Rio Grande.